Lucky bamboo care tips. Can be grown in water or soil. If growing in water, make sure the roots are always covered by water. And you're going to want to change and refresh the water every 7 to 10 days. It likes bright and direct light, so I just have this right on my windowsill. And if you'd rather plant it in soil, just keep the soil moist.
No, we ain't giving no hold. I ain't Romeo and I'll hold. Making a party, chocolate Barbie waiting on me for yo.
Lee here from Kill This Plant, reminding you not to mist your houseplants. It's a common myth that spraying your indoor plants increases humidity. It doesn't increase it enough for long enough for it to have a positive effect on your plants. What it can do is damage your plants. I sprayed this new leaf every day, and this is the damage it left on the leaves. Check out the brown spots, and this is what it looks like when it's fully unfurled. The most effective way to increase the humidity of your houseplants is to get a humidifier. Check out Kill This Plant for more. Lee here from Kill This Plant, and are you bottom watering your houseplants? Some plants that have fuzzy leaves can suffer damage if they get water on them, like this Kalanchoe tomentosa. Bottom watering may avoid that. Fungus gnats will be less likely to lay eggs in your plant if your topsoil is dry. But if you only bottom water so that the bottom is wet and the top roots are dry, will your plants be able to effectively get the nutrients to its leaves? Are you bottom watering your plant? Do you bottom water until it's fully saturated? I'd love to hear about it down below. Check out Kill This Plant for more.
My last video about uncommon plants did have a few plants that were a bit more expensive, so today I wanted to share some more affordable options, starting with the variegated Syngonium albo. The patterning on this plant is just gorgeous, and you should definitely be able to find this for under $50. Next is the Philodendron Rio. Gabriella Plants sells this online. It is often out of stock, but if you can find it, I would definitely snag it up. It is so beautiful. Next is the Rafritiform Tetrasperma non-tissue cultured version. This plant can grow so fast. You can probably get a starter plant like this for only $20, and look how tall it grows. I love this one. This is the Philodendron micans. The leaves are so velvety and beautiful, and it grows really fast. I found mine for only $30, and it has a pretty full pot. Here is an alocasia. This is the alocasia black velvet. The leaves look so cool and like kind of goth. They're super velvety, and I actually got this as a freebie from my local plant store. Let me know if you'd like a part 3.
This is why you should always check the soil when you get a new plant. Do y'all see that gnat? Let's repot her and remove the gnat. Snip snip. She is finally free. Why do nurseries do this? Add some soil, water. This is her a week later. There's even a new leaf.
Pothos are like that one friend that you let sleep on your couch for a week, and then one day you wake up and the entire place is theirs. They're in your kitchen, your TV room, everywhere you look there's a pothos. These guys will literally grow from anything. This was just a stem with a note on it, and look, more pothos.
customer brought us several of her plants to be repotted, but worst amongst them all was this orchid. The bloom stem had died off, but that's not the big deal. The big problem is this severe case of dehydration. Now, believe it or not, this can actually come from overwatering or underwatering. However, we do find later out in the video that is from underwatering. The roots were extremely dry and therefore they had not been taking up moisture, so the leaves were looking sad and definitely not red. I tried to break up the moss ball here, but it was so dehydrated it was like a brick, so I put it in some water for about 10 minutes so it could soak it up, rehydrate that moss so it's easier to peel it away from the roots without damaging them. After that, I wanted to clip away all of the dead roots. You want to get rid of them. I like to, of course, sanitize my pruners with a hydrogen peroxide, and then any roots that are not firm are ones that you're going to want to clip off. They might be papery thin, they might be mushy. Either way, we want to get rid of them. And then afterwards, we just sanitize the extra or the remaining roots, the healthy roots, with another dose of the hydrogen peroxide. After that, we are just going to repot. Now, I only showed the repotting of the one orchid, but we actually did several of them, and she wanted them in a big old arrangement like this. I'm just using a cocoa chips here for this one. It's nice moisture retention, but also provides a lot of air to the orchid. And just like that, we're doing well. We'll expect it to take another week or so for it to rehydrate those leaves, but it is on its way to recovery and should be a beautiful little arrangement. Every culture has plants as an integral part of their story. Plants are used for food and shelter and clothing and medicine and tools and transportation. Probably most recently is plants being used as just a hobby. But even as a hobby, plants can be calming and somehow therapeutic. But over the past couple hundred years, it seems we've tried to get away from that connection, to squash it or minimize it or be less reliant on plants. Instead of weaving this historical connection with plants into our modern day society, we have decided to build skyscrapers and sort of wrangle this land and tame it and subdue it and will it to what we want it to be, you know, building streets and buildings and all sorts of great things. Of course, not all these things are bad. Many of them are crucial to our successful society today. And what I really love is when someone comes along and uses modern day technology to bring us back to our roots, especially in the form of art.
Found an injured praying mantis at the park, so I brought her home and put her in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. When I first put her in, she started climbing to the top, and she likes to hang out here. You can see her injured wing. She also has some mobility issues because her left arm is damaged. Sometimes this happens, but she always finds her way back up again. And she kind of reminds me of a cat. She's super cute, and sometimes she likes to hide. Here she is hiding behind a leaf.